Hi, everybody. Welcome. Just give me 1 second. I just want to make sure we are good on all platforms. I want to make sure that we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram without error. And we will get into it. Wait, what just happened? Edit the audience. All right, so we are good on Facebook and we are live on Instagram. All right, we Gucci. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Betterism Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Lachey Taylor. And today I have my second collaboration. I am introducing to you this fabulous lady that I followed initially on Facebook. I started watching her journey, and she's super inspiring. She is a plant-based chef. She is an entrepreneur. She is a herbalist, and she is a coach. Right now, she has a lot of amazing things going on. She's living out her purpose, and I really wanted to have her on here so that we can just have a high level conversation talking about the times, talking about the paradigm that we are currently existing in, coming from like this really interesting matrix that we live in where we have normalized and been conditioned to live a certain way. A lot of things have been normalized that are quite dysfunctional. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are young, vibrant. They're bringing that energy. They're real. They're authentic. They're not trying to be anybody but themselves. They've changed themselves from the inside. They've had the courage to go against everything that they have been taught to be. And now, because of how they're investing in themselves, they're able to inspire and show up for others. And that's a perfect example of who we have today. And her name is Renoda, and she is a plant-based chef, as I have mentioned, and I'm about to bring her right on. Let me unmute that mic. Hey, Renoda, how are you?
What's going on? How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for popping in today. This is really exciting. People are pouring in. They're already excited to hear from us. So, yeah, if anybody doesn't know who you are, outside of the introduction I gave you, if you want to give a short synopsis of who you are, then we can start there and just take off.
Hey man, listen, you did a great job on the introduction. Like she said, my name is Renata. I am a plant-based chef, plant-based health coach, herbalist, all things fitness, all things health, right? So my purpose is to help others become the best versions of themselves, whatever that may mean to you. So that's just who I am, just to bring out that in you, to push you, to motivate you, to strive, to you to just live out your purpose. Yeah.
Dope, dope. And yeah, so that's really what it's all about. I mean, I come from the same background. For me, I come from having health issues. I come from being depressed.
Mm,
I come from being isolated. I take introversion uh, to the extreme.
right.
Like I wasn't really pouring into or even trying to have relationships with people around me. I was just like real isolated, stuck indoors, and that's mostly because of the state of my health, and my view and perception of the world. But it was when I decided I didn't want to be like that anymore, when I really started tapping into myself, when I really started to discover that this isn't the only way to be, and I stopped eating all the things that used to throw off my chemical balance on the inside, which was the reason for my depression. Not I decided to start going outside more and really start building and cultivating friendships and relationships with family, with friends. And all of that is a part of having true health and self-love and just cultivating a really good life. But it had to start with me. It had to start with me being aware,
Yes.
acknowledging
Yes.
going on, and then finally doing something about it. And now I get to be like this best version of myself that's always evolving into another
Mm-hmm.
version of myself. I know that you had a before and after photo where you had, like put on some weight, and you just you were walking, and you said you was ready, and it's like night and day from how you are right now.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So, like I said, for years, for like all my life, after I stopped playing sports, because I was very athletic, I always been athletic. But after you got out of high school, after you start having kids, after after life be life, and you know what I'm saying, you start to put yourself on the back burner. You put everybody else's needs above yours, everybody else, you know what I'm saying, and then you start tending to yourself last. So along the way, you kind of lose yourself. You kind of lose your purpose and what it is outside of that. And so COVID had hit and we wasn't going anywhere. I had gained some weight, and every day I was just looking in my mirror. I was like, yo, this isn't me. I don't know who this is I'm looking at in the mirror, because it's not me. You know what I'm saying? I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something about it, because like you said, it starts with me. And so I just got up, I started working out. I went 100 days straight of going to the gym or walking or doing some kind of physical activity every single day. And then I just started changing my diet and started eating better. And once I started getting away from um the processed foods and things like that, it's just like my whole world changed from, my mental clarity, my skin, my weight loss. The weight loss is just a benefit of you doing that, right? So people often do it for the weight loss, but if you do it just to feel better, just to be better, just to, like you said, get out of depressed state, you know what I'm saying? Just start taking care of your body from the inside out. The weight loss is going to come. It's going to come. And so that's what I did, man. And along the way, people started saying, like, what are you doing? How did you do it? So I was like, this is my way to give back and to help other people, to show them that they can do it too. And not only show them that they can do it, teach them. You know what I'm saying? Teach them and guide them. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
That's dope. There's like no better way to be than to be able to like help people. It's
Mm-hmm.
like that energy exchange of being able to help others, and then you're also being rewarded not only by helping others, but you don't have to use your time doing something you don't really want to do. It allows you to like start really stepping into your purpose, and it's good that like
Yes.
we are finding these ways to monetize helping others.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really about the money, but it's really about us being allowed to truly step into our purpose and like getting that exchange of energy. Do you feel like there are a lot of people out here now that you're in this space as a
Mm-hmm.
coach? I know you have like a group going on. Are you finding people receptive to investing in their health?
Listen, initially, yes. And I think yes and no. I think for the broad spectrum of it, people are willing to throw all kinds of money on weight loss. You know what I'm saying? Like the supplements, the lose weight fast gimmicks, and all these different diets that you go on and then you have to go off, and once you go off, you gain all this weight back. So people throw it at microwavable type stuff, quick fix things. But to invest in your health for the long term, for something that can be a lifestyle change, a lot of people was kind of like reserved on it. But I found out that when I put it out that I was starting this forever camp, people was just coming just like this. I'm like, okay, people, I know they've been watching me. And that's why I tell people, just post your content, post what you're doing, post, because people are watching you and they inspired by you. And then they see the transition for you just being you and living that example out. Right. So then they were like, okay. So I've been watching her. I've been seeing how her meals looking. I've been seeing what she doing. She's been consistent. Let me be a part of that. And the group just started growing and growing and growing, man.
That's what's up. Like
Yeah.
it's really encouraging to know that people are finally willing to invest
Mm-hmm.
in their health, because a
Yes.
lot of times when soon as we start talking about how we need to change our ways if we want things to change in our lives, the number one excuse is, oh, it's expensive to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like suddenly it becomes a conspiracy theory, and now people kind of like to wait on they like to lean on the excuses for why they are unwilling to get started. And these excuses kind of become like a shield, like they
Mm-hmm.
kind of hide behind it.
Right.
Sense, but in reality, it's not expensive. You're still willing to pay $40 to $50 on DoorDash orders of seafood.
Yep.
You too lazy
Mm-hmm.
to get up and just go. Like you're not. It's not too expensive for you to go and get a whole new outfit when your favorite rapper is coming to town. It's not too expensive for you to, get done up,
Mm-hmm.
get a bottle, and do all this to pregame. It's just like really
Right.
a matter of priority. And I feel like the work that you do, the work that I do, how we just like take care of ourselves every day and we just share
Mhm.
what we're doing, like that helps inspire people. But I do believe it also helps to kind of like create a normalization,
Right.
make it cool and make it trendy to be healthy, to make it
Mm-hmm.
trendy to share your juices and make it trendy. Like that's one trend I can like not talk trash about, because there's all kinds of bandwagons people like
Yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I'm okay with like the juicing bandwagon and the walking bandwagon and the fitness
Mhm.
bandwagon, and because it's like we have to do our part to make this lifestyle look cool.
Appeasing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because that's really the only way you're going to kind of convince some people to start doing something good for themselves, because a lot of people are influenced by pop culture, by things that they see on TV, by
Mm-hmm.
celebrities. And these celebrities are pushing Wegovy and Ozempic,
Right.
and they're
Mhm.
pushing these, like you said, these quick fixes for weight loss. But people are trying to skip the process
You
of
can't
being
skip the process.
disciplined, being disciplined, of having character. You have to have character development. Character
Mm-hmm.
development comes in the process of weight loss, the process of telling yourself no when you want to have pizza instead of
Yes.
salad, like whatever it is, like that's where the growth is. The growth
And
is
and you building self-discipline. You got to
yes.
build that self-discipline along the way. You can't not go out here and do a quick fix and you don't have the tools. It's in the process that you gain the tools and you gain the knowledge to help you to make this a lifestyle, a nice transition into a lifestyle. We don't want to do something that you can't sustain, that you're not going to want to do for the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get out of the mindset of these quick fixes, these little, throwing money in that aspect versus in the right aspect. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
yeah, we just gotta change our mindset on that.
Yeah, you can't buy character development.
You can't.
You can buy weight loss. Yeah, you can go and have a surgery and
Mm-hmm.
this and that, but that's extreme. Like, why would you do that instead of just having control over what you put inside of your mouth? And it's just I don't even believe in weight loss journeys. Like when people
Right.
say that I just want to lose weight, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you're thinking about the end result, but you ain't thinking about what's required to get there. But that means you're willing to do anything to get there
Yes.
if it's quick, because a lot of people are like, well, how much weight did you lose? How much
Mm-hmm.
weight did you, how long is this going to take? If you're already asking those questions, your mindset, you have to work on it,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
because it's like, don't worry about how long it's going to take. We have to start having a mind frame of this is for the long haul. This is my
Mhm.
life.
This
This
is
is
it.
a lifestyle.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there will be room for mistakes in between. But as long as
Mm-hmm.
you're willing to make mistakes, as long as you're willing to fail on the way, nobody's asking you to be perfect
Right.
on your journey. Nobody's telling you to throw away everything that you've always known and did
Mm-hmm.
in order to become a certain way. And that actually makes me think about something else, the extremism of perfection. When people start these lifestyle changes, they think
Mm-hmm.
that they have to quit everything cold turkey. And that's why they end up
Yes.
pulling and end
They
up binging.
they defeating themselves before they even get started. You're defeating yourself before you even get started because you already thinking in your mind what I can't have, what I can't do, instead of I get to do this, I get to eat more of this, I get to feel better, I get to look better. You know what I'm saying? Start looking at the benefits versus looking at the losses of what you're not going to be able to do anymore. And once you change your mindset to be more optimistic than defensive, than just against everything, then everything will start changing for you. We just got to change our mindset. But we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned so long on the standard American diet. From if you think about it, from pre-K, even still to today, they still got the same food pyramid of what you're supposed to eat. All this, that the breakfast is the most important meal of the day, that you're supposed to get all these different categories of this, and this. And we see the science says that it don't work. If you got eyes, you can see that it's not working. We are a nation of obesity, of walking individuals that are sick. You're walking time bombing. At any moment, you can drop down at a heart attack at any moment, you know? But we don't correlate the food and stuff that we're eating to how we look, to our diseases, to how we feel, to none of that, right? You just, oh, well, it runs in my family. So it was meant for me to get high blood pressure. It was meant for me to get this because, my mama had it, my grandma had it, her grandma had, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think it's spiritual warfare. I think that food
Indeed.
is the number one tool used against humanity in
Mm-hmm.
spiritual warfare. Now, if anybody's into, so-called conspiracy theories, and for the sake of a lack of a better term, I'll say the powers that be,
Right.
right? In order for any governmental body or entity, because govern means to control, ment means the mind, if
Mm-hmm.
you're breaking down the etymology of the term government or the word government. So governments exist to control minds. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot stand as they
Right.
are, right? So, in order for us to have a so called civilized society with order,
Mm-hmm.
then we need to so-called have a government. Now, the government, I feel like, uses food as a tool
Yep.
for control. And a lot of times the stuff that we call food and that's given to us is used to kind of make us apathetic, to kind of weigh us down,
It is. It's
not
intentional.
to not thinking sharply,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
not being in control of who we are, because you can't control a person when a person is in control of themselves. But when they can't even control what they're putting in their mouth,
Mouth, you got all the control in the world over them.
you can pass
Because
all kinds of laws and everything.
yes, yes.
Have us paying all kinds of crazy taxes, and they don't even really do much for us in exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, to not put crap in your mouth or toxicity in your mouth is
Mm-hmm.
literally an act of revolution,
Right.
taking your
It's
personal power back, winning the spiritual war.
mm-hmm. When you start going against the grain of everything that they say is right, when you go against that, that's when you become your most best self. That's when you get more empowerment. When you start taking control of how you think, what you watch, what you listen to. When you're not letting them put certain things on the television to make you think a certain way, try to mess with your psyche, when you're not listening to a whole bunch of negative talk in music and things like that. When you change your environment and not around negative people, right? When you putting good things into your body, and when you become more spiritually in tune and getting away from structured religion and things like that, you start to open your mind and see the world in a whole different light. And then you be like, man, they've been bamboozling us for all of our lives. All of our lives. And it's not until you change that mindset and actually start to see, but you can't see it until you change what you put in your body.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never be able to see it until you start changing what you put in your body and start taking care of yourself from the inside out. And once you start opening up them chakras, once you start opening up your mindset and everything becomes more clear, now you can be like, now wait a minute. Yeah. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Let me read these ingredients on here. What you you got like, rat poison in this food. You got
Mm,
eyes in this food. You got, corrosives in this food. Like, wait a minute.
flame
Why? Yeah,
retardants, rubbers,
right. Like
plastics.
plastics, all kind of stuff in the food that you eat, and they so-called FDA said it's approved. You see what I'm saying? But we don't pay attention. We don't read ingredients. We just grabbing something on the shelf because it looked good. They put it in a pretty package. They put bright colors on it. They say it's fat free. They say it's sugar free. They say all these things, but it has crazy ingredients in it. But if I came up and I put some rat poison, or if I put some plastic or something in your food and I gave it to you, you would think I was trying to take you out of here, wouldn't you?
Right. And you get jail for it, but they can put poison in our food and just make millions off of it, become enriched. But one thing that they have to do is they do have to disclose what they put inside of it. So there is a lot of autonomy and
Mm-hmm.
self responsibility that needs to be had, especially
Absolutely.
by grown adults.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, especially like if you are an adult and you have children and you love your kids and everything you do is to protect them, and if you want to feed them and you just doing the best you can, if you read them behind these labels, then you seeing all these like crazy ingredients in here,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're gonna feed your kid, if unless you don't know any better. But once you know better, you have a responsibility to
You
do better.
have a responsibility. Absolutely. And then we're not giving these kids real food. They only thing they want is chicken nuggets and french fries. They want Takis, they want Doritos, they want crustables, they want hot pockets, they want frozen pieces, they want all this stuff that literally has no nutritional value. Then you send them to school, they hyped up on drugs, sugar. They hyped up on drugs, and then you let these people tell you that your child has ADHD. Now they're gonna put them on medication. It's gonna mess their whole central nervous system, everything up, how they think, how they behave. Now they zombies. Now they dependent on it. They addicted to this drug. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you controlling what you put in their mouth.
And that's why they have tantrums. You know
Yes.
what's crazy? Like, so there are certain like raw vegan influencers, like Ashley Chong. She's raw
Hmm.
and radiant on Instagram. She's raised both of her. She's had two raw vegan pregnancies, and she's raised both of her kids as basically mostly raw
Hmm.
vegans. And her oldest daughter, Layla, is so healthy. Oh my God, that girl got muscles. She's like, I don't know. She can't be no older than like 8, 7, 8 years
Yeah.
old. She's in gymnastics. She does every sport. This little girl has muscles. Like she's
Hmm.
like a little superhuman. And it's crazy when you look in the comments, though, from all these
Hmm.
marginalized parents who are triggered by
Yes.
this child and this mother and how this woman is raising her kids. They're intimidated, but they want to hide behind these so-called nutritional scientific facts that are
Yes.
to us
These
by
nutritionists and dietitians and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
protein. Now they want to
Hmm.
start talking about protein. Oh, well, that's not an adequate in it. Yeah, say that now. She'll have diabetes by she's 12. And a
Yeah.
lot of people have zero concept of how their bodies operate. It's
Right.
like we have been conditioned and programmed by these institutions to see ourselves as these like infallible human beings that
Hmm.
like we're just a slab of meat on a skeleton, and we're just here to be constant consumers, like mindless consumers that put anything inside of us, and we're just destined to break down and fail and get old and decrepit and lose
Yeah,
energy with time.
exactly.
Like that's just the natural thing and way
That
it's gonna
that's just
be.
what it's supposed to be.
No, that's not how we're supposed to be. It's like we have to start redefining what a human being truly is, because we are supernatural human
We
beings.
are. We are. We the only species like us.
Yes, we're like intelligent computers with skin because we're all made up of like
Mhm.
multi minerals.
Right.
We are the zinc and the magnesium and the calcium, and the
Yeah.
phosphorus. We're
We all of
literally,
that.
yeah, we're iron, we're copper. We are that, and we have to
And
just
to your point, if we are made of all of this, right? That's what we are literally made of. Don't you think we should be consuming what we're made of? We should be consuming these electrical foods that we're made of.
Yes, it
That's
is
what
like,
that's our gas. That's our fuel for our body. We are the vehicle. That is our fuel. That what drives us and keeps us going.
mm-hmm. That's what keeps us at being our a soul, like a solar being.
Yes.
Like we live in a electromagnetic on an electromagnetic grid, and we are our own electromagnetic grid. Like I've
Hmm.
really been big on that concept. Like our hearts, our
Yes.
our whole cardiovascular system is like an electrical based system. We have an
Hmm.
electromagnetic energy around us. We have our own personal Taurus field.
Absolutely.
Everything that we consume um has its own biophoton electromagnetic.
Yes. Everything is magnetic. Everything is electrical magnetic. And you think about it. The sun is charging. The
Mm-hmm,
ground is charging. So we should be grounding and we should be in the sun.
mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. So what is it? So the ground is electric and then the sun is magnetic. So you're
Magnetic.
bringing these electromagnetic bodies together, and then you've got like the water as the conductor, the ocean.
Yes.
We're made up of all those things. The brain
Mhm.
is actually electric and the heart is actually magnetic. So really, when you're putting the right things inside of you, you're making it easier for that brain heart coherence
Everything to run smoothly.
smoothly. Yeah, the
Yes.
iron levels in your body. People be like, my iron is low. Think about that. Your
Mm-hmm.
iron is low. Iron is like it's a mineral. It's a
Right.
metal. You know,
Right.
like so. What does that tell you?
Yes, exactly.
And what do they say? Eat. So they'll tell you to go. If you go to a doctor,
That's
they'll
they're
try to
gonna
put
tell you
you
get
on
some
the pills.
iron pills, some ferrous sulfate iron pills that's gonna make you constipated. That's gonna cause bleeding and stuff in your digestive tract. That's what it
Mm,
does over time. Those iron
wow.
pills, when you can just really eat food that's high in iron, right? You can eat your minerals, eat these foods that's here on earth for us to consume to get all the minerals and stuff that our body need. That's why we should be eating a variety of plant-based fruits and vegetables, a variety of different colors, because each fruit, each vegetable contains its own type of minerals and stuff. So we have to get a variety of all of them so we can be efficient in everything that we need. So if you think about our body as a vehicle, right? You get your car, you go wash your car, you got to get your tires changed and rotated, you got to get your brakes maintained, you got to have the engine, you got to have the oil, you got to have spark plugs, you got to have everything in this car to make it go, right? And you got to have fuel in it. But over time, if you're eating trash, if you're on all these medications, if you're not working out, if you're not, what I'm saying, taking care of your body, you start going deficient, you start everything start going. So if you go in your car and you go a whole year without an oil change, what you think gonna happen? You might not even make it to a year. Your motor gonna lock up on you.
Mm.
It's gonna shut down on you. Same thing with your body. The same thing. We take care of our cars better than we take care of ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. Um, we lack common sense when it comes to how to take care of ourselves because
Mm-hmm.
we have delegated the caring of ourselves to a third party. So you can't even very boldly do something you want to do with your own body without a person outside of you coming to
Man,
you, telling
listen.
you, how unhealthy that is, and you need to go and
Yes.
see your doctor. And like people don't even have trust in themselves to take care of themselves.
Right.
Like we got to delegate everything. And like,
Everything.
and these doctors don't know much either. Like they know about the human anatomy. So
They
yes, you
know.
went to school for 12 years and you learned about the different systems in the body. You know their functions. You know the intricacies, so to speak, and the
Mm-hmm.
connections. But the only thing you really learned when it comes to health and the maintenance of the human body is how certain medications or pills, pharmaceuticals, how they
Yes.
affect,
That's
what suppress a symptom.
they spent 100 and something thousand dollars to go out there to learn how to treat you once you've already got diabetes, once you already got heart conditions, once you already have this ailment. They can treat you then. But we talking about preventive maintenance. That's what we talking. When we talking about true health, we talking about not getting to that point, right? So they have this much knowledge on nutrition in their whole curriculum of school. They get this much knowledge on dietitian and nutrition, and even the dietitian and nutritionists don't know what they're talking about, right? You see a lot of these people overweight. You see them smoking. You see them. They have the same type of diseases and things like that that they trying to tell you to help you get rid of, or treat, rather treat, but they got it themselves. So you
Mm-hmm.
got essentially sick people trying to help sick people, and it don't work like that. It
Nope.
don't work like that.
So they'll tell you what stage of failure your kidneys are on, right? And they know
Yeah.
that the kidneys are meant to filter, right? So
Mhm.
that means if they're failing, that means they're not filtering out, which means that you're holding on to toxicity. That's what common sense will tell you. Okay, so
Yes.
you're not filtering right. That means you're holding on to toxicity. But those same people will also not believe in detoxification.
Exactly.
Like if you can toxify, then you can detoxify,
Detoxify.
but you just have to learn how to detoxify. But we
Hmm.
have only known how to eat like trash, and we don't know that getting back to nature and just eating real food, eating hydrating food will help
Right.
start loosen up a lot of the toxins that's kind of been stuck inside of our bodies,
Yes.
hydrated, and then the fiber will move it along, and then
Right.
people will start doing it, right? People get curious and see what we're doing and give it a try, and then they'll be like, oh no, I was pooping too much, I
Hmm.
couldn't get off the toilet. And they see that as a bad thing.
I never in my life knew people who scared of you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
scared of shit. You rather have it if listen, if you going to the if you eating foods, right? If you eating natural organic foods from the earth, fruits and vegetables, and you going to the bathroom, that means you had months and years of all this stuff built up into your digestive tract. You want it out of you. If you don't get it out of you, that's where all these colon cancers and all this stuff happens at. That's where disease starts, in your digestive tract. Undigested food in your digestive tract, sitting there, fermenting, creating parasites. Everything is just feeding off each other, and there's no life, nothing moving through there. That's where disease starts, and then it goes out into the rest of the body. So you have these like you said, medical doctors and stuff like that who don't really know true health like that. And we ready to put them on a pill. We ready to send them to go get kidney dialysis. We ready to go tell them to get open heart surgery. We ready to tell them to get this insulin pill and this insulin pump and all these different things. But who is really sitting these people down and saying, okay, what are you eating? What is your lifestyle? Do you work out? What are you putting in your body? What's your mental health like? Right? They're not doing this synopsis or this assessment correct. That's where you start. And then you start doing because if they don't know what to eat, so they can't do that on that aspect. So it's going to really take those doctors and healthcare workers and stuff like that. I'm a part of that. And um holistic health practitioners and health coaches coming together to kind of do it, right? Because we already know our people stuck on the white coats. Well, my doctor said, my doctor said this, and now my doctor said that. But you had high blood pressure for 30 years and you still got it. So what is your doctor telling you that's helping you?
They like what their doctor is telling them because their doctor isn't telling them that they have to change anything. Their doctor
That's
is
the it.
telling them, the doctor is just keeping them alive just long
Mhm.
enough to continue to make a few million on them each year. Because cured patients don't come back, and they can't
Mhm.
make no money off no cured patients. But if you go and you start eating clean and you stop eating animal products and you start moving
Mhm.
your body and you start praying and you start meditating and you start learning how to breathe properly, they can't do nothing with that, you know?
Right.
So, and they're being told you don't have to quit your addictive ways. You don't have to stop eating pork. You don't have to stop eating mac and cheese. You don't have to stop eating your ham hocks. You don't have to stop eating your ribs. You can still have your drinks go out and have your drinks all the time with your girls, and
Mhm.
like nothing has to change. basically. Oh, all I have to do is take this pill and this will stabilize my pressure. It won't bring it to an ideal rate where it's not affecting my heart health, but it'll stabilize it to where I could still get up every day and continue on with these destructive habits. Um, but people don't even look at the ingredients on the medications that they're being given.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't take into account the level of toxicity from that. So we're just
Yes.
a container of waste. We're walking around containing the waste and building on top of it and declining more and more each day. I'm a huge believer that people who live that toxically and they still, their bodies still sustain for a long period of time is because they have a good spirit.
Right.
There are people out here who eat terribly, they overweight and they, but they're still alive. And I believe that has more to do with the spirit side of the body, because there are people who have a lot of love in their life, like they
Mm-hmm.
have families, they love their families, they have grandkids, they love their grandkids, they have jobs that they really like, they have their hobbies. I do believe there's a certain aspect when your mental health is good and you're fulfilled in other ways, that does contribute to having good cellular constitution.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be perfect, but at the same time, imagine how much better your life could be if you was eating right. You could take off that weight. You'd have more energy.
Mm-hmm.
You'd just be like just on a whole different level. I'm like getting into the more mystical aspects of existence because I've been reading Becoming Supernatural by
Okay.
Joe Dispenza. That book is mind blowing. That information is mind blowing because it's all science based.
Right.
It's not like hocus pocus. It's like these are studies that's being done by scientists where they are checking the brain chemistry of people before and after. People who come in with certain health issues, with certain mental health issues, and they put them in a course of meditation. They teach them how to reach certain brain waves, like the theta state and
Mm-hmm.
this sort. And then they literally start changing their cells on an epigenetic level to where they heal themselves with their minds and with their thoughts through meditation. It's like crazy. So yeah, like food isn't everything.
Yeah,
But
food is just a minute part of it.
yeah,
Right? Food is just a small, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's well-being, it's everything in between. It's not just food,
it's
right?
holistic.
It's
Yeah.
that's why we call it holistic health, mind, body, and spirit, right? So everything got to be in alignment when you start taking this transition. And the further you get into it, the deeper you go into it, the more you learn and the more you go and you resist what you was taught. You go against everything that you've been taught because you like, man, they've been lying to us all these years. You know?
The truth is light, so now you've
Yeah.
reached a certain level of light to where you don't even see that anymore. You're not on
Mm-hmm.
that frequency. And I think that's how we end up clashing with people in our world, because it's not even like you can clash with people in your world without even trying to clash with people in your world. Like you just being you. You just
Right.
do what you do. You just not drinking. You just not smoking. You just bringing your own fruit to the
Yeah.
function and just eating that, or your own salad to the function and eating that, or you just made
Yeah.
your own meal, whatever. You just eating that. You abstaining, but you want to be around. You want to connect. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people will stop inviting you because
Yeah.
you don't do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how the energies just fall off.
Yes, naturally. It naturally just falls off like that too. Like naturally just, you know, but it's cool though. It's cool. That's what you want. You want your environment that's conducive to healing, that's conducive to growing and evolving. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We should be forever evolving, hence my name, because you got to get away from those old things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got to
that's
get
the
away.
point of life. The
Yeah.
point of life is to come here and evolve as spirits. There
Mm-hmm.
should not be a single year that goes by where you haven't changed in certain kind of ways. And I think
Yeah.
when people don't change, when they stay stagnated, that's where depression comes from. Because
Mhm.
depression really is suppression.
It
Because
is
when you
suppression.
suppress yourself, when you haven't allowed yourself to move forward, when your own imagination can't bring you to a place that you want to be because you like the blockages are heavier than the courage to make that change,
Ooh, that's deep.
it's just like
That's deep.
Are you depressed?
Yes, when you depending on outside influences to dictate how you grow and how you maneuver and how you elevate and then evolve, you got so many people that have their dream, they have their goals and their visions and their ideas, but they scared to jump off the porch, or they dependent on this one source of income. And if I have to be right here, if I don't do anything else, then I have a fear that I'm gonna be homeless. I have a fear that I'm a failure. I'm gonna have a fear that this, what I'm saying? When we were created with all power, with all knowing, with the intelligence to go out here and create the life that you desire. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
why.
can't nobody do it but you. Can't nobody do it but you. Like you said, it's got to have that courage. You have to have the courage and the will to just do it.
Yeah, and you got to evolve. We are
Hmm.
put here to evolve. We're not put here to be the same, to stagnate. I mean, maybe some people are put here to show some of us how not to
How
be,
not to be.
or why this is why I can't be like that. Thank you
Yeah.
for being the standing
Hmm.
example for why I get up every day and try my damnedest, no matter how I'm feeling in my mind,
Right.
um, no matter what I don't feel like doing. I just have to get up and do it, and that's all a part of the character development. That's
That's
all
the
a part of the
same with life,
process.
though, in general. That's the same with life in general. We have to go through different trials and tribulations and highs and lows to learn, what I'm saying, from what you went through to now you better equipped to what you're going to go through. Now you got all the tools, all the knowledge. So when something comes, now you know how to maneuver through it. You know how to evolve through it. You know how to go around it. You know what I'm saying? And not deal with certain things and issues and all that stuff. So it's just as life, you're supposed to be forever evolving and growing through these different lifestyle changes and things that come, because life be lifing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Life be lifing.
Yeah, beautifully said. Um, I feel like evolution is I because of the term evolution, everything is involved in the evolutionary process, including the highs, the lows,
Hmm.
the standstills, the plateaus. All of that is a part of the evolutionary process. Like, I don't believe in failure and I don't believe in mistakes. I just believe in experiences.
Experiences.
Experiences that we allow ourselves to have will continuously evolve us into where we
Hmm.
are and where we're going to be. There, we are always so stuck in the past or we're in the future. But there's this concept that he talks about in the book on becoming supernatural, and he says you got to live in the eternal now.
Yes.
Eternal now. So now is eternal. And you don't want to be stuck in the future and you don't want to be stuck in the past, because now you can't experience the
Got
present
to
moment.
experience it, right? You can't, like, you got to appreciate the journey. You got to appreciate where you are right now in this moment. Appreciate where you are, be grateful for where you come from, and then have the, what I'm saying, the will to keep going to get to wherever it is you're trying to aspire to be, right? So yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
and to master the body, it starts top down. I feel like we're very intelligently made.
Mm-hmm.
The hierarchy. So if you want to start your weight loss journey, if you want to start your health journey, if you want to start your new career journey, if you want to start living out your passions, if you want, no matter what that is, whatever's in your
Hmm.
imagination, no matter what it is, it's always going to start in the mind. So
Yes.
mindset work, very intentional mindset work has to be put into any dream, any goal that you have. You have to really put your mind where you want it to be. You have to get yourself excited about being there.
Yes.
You need to act like you're there already.
Already manifestation.
Yes. And then now you just program yourself to that place with
Mm-hmm.
the mouth. So started with the brain, this, that, mind, that
You think it, now you
imagination.
got to speak it.
Now you gotta say it. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you ain't there, you affirm it. You say it every
Yes.
single day, because now your cells are being programmed with that. Now your subconscious mind is being
Mm-hmm.
programmed with that. It's all top down. And then now your heart is feeling it. Now your heart is magnetizing it. You know,
Yes.
now you're really creating that brain heart
Mm-hmm.
coherence, and you're
Yes.
altering your reality, this eternal now. And
You're
then
right.
now now you're attracting it. Now you're being exactly
Mm-hmm.
who's going to create that thing. And now you descend, you go downwards,
Yeah.
and now you're in these chakras where you tap
Chakras.
into your will, your
Yes.
courage, like all of
Mm-hmm.
that. And then,
Yes.
so like literally you're tapping into these energy centers, and it starts from the top down. And then suddenly, before you know it, now you're in your root. Now you're safe, you're secure, you're the I am. Now
Yep. I
am.
am.
I
I
am.
am.
I am,
Yes.
so it's like, everything is involved, but it starts in the mind, because your body cannot command the mind. The mind
Mm-hmm.
becomes the body, because I'm sorry, the body becomes the
Becomes
mind.
the mind. Yeah. The
Yes,
body gonna follow. Yeah.
yes, the body gonna
Wherever
follow.
the mind go, the body will follow.
So no matter what you want subconsciously, if you have created a program in your subconscious mind, your body is going to be that mind. You're going to get up and
Exactly.
you do the same thing automatically, period.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you start changing that subconscious mind, your body's going to become exactly who
Mm-hmm.
the vision or the imagination is wants to take you. And
But we in the state where everybody is from the outside in instead
mm-hmm,
of the inside out, right?
mm,
It starts within, it starts with us. But we depended on other people to tell us what that is for us. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a particular religion, whether that's a particular politics that they say you should be following suit, whether there's a particular diet, whether that's a particular um relationship status, whether that's a particular everything, you depended on everybody else to paint this picture of what it should life should be for you.
mm,
And that should come from within.
mm-hmm.
That
you
comes from within.
you notice a lot of adults seek permission to
Mm-hmm.
be and do what they want to do. Like, it's an interesting place to live, where like, because it's the programming, it's because
Right.
the paradigm, it's because the paradigm of the matrix. So soon as we are old enough to go to grade school, we are taught certain things to be obedient, to be in formation. First you
Mm-hmm.
start off with standing in a straight line. They'll have like the good kid get to
Yep.
stand in front, the obedient kid gets to stand in front. Then, you're taught these different things. They're scoring your level of intelligence, your level of comprehension, so
Yep.
they're teaching you things step by step. And then they're grading you on that based on these standardized testing, right? But what they're teaching is just indoctrination. It's not
That's it.
necessarily true information from
It's
the history,
indoctrination.
the sciences, the maths, everything. We're just being given this stuff. It's just a program, because we are computers. So
Yes.
we're being programmed from a small time. We have to raise our hand to use the bathroom. We got to ask for permission to do everything. If we don't do
Mm-hmm.
something right, we get something taken away from us. We get suspended. We are trained, and we are um groomed as children to be obedient,
Yes.
basically, because they're trying to raise obedient adults who need
And
to
what do
ask
they say
questions.
though? What do they say to these kids who, if it don't sound right or they be like, but what, but how, don't you ask no question? I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
You do what I said because I told you that's what you're gonna do. Right? And what are you teaching that
Yep.
child? Not to ask questions, not to just to go along with the get along. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
then when they get older, you say, don't be a follower, be a leader. But you ain't really taught them nothing.
Yep. And parents are notorious for that. You ain't allowed
Yeah,
to have a voice. You're not allowed to speak up for yourself. Like,
nothing.
you get treated wrong. Parents will talk down to you and break you down and take away your spirit. Like,
Mhm.
as a child, I was naturally outspoken. I was very insightful. I would ask questions, and if something didn't seem right, I would speak up for myself and be punished for it. Y'all get hit. I don't know who you think you talking to. Like, you don't
Right.
even have to really be disrespectful to be treated like you're
You
being
being
disrespectful.
disrespectful. Just to have a voice is being disrespectful to them. You
Exactly.
know what I'm
And
saying?
then that's what we internalize. And then we grow up as adults and we don't know how to communicate. We just bottle up our anger and our resentment and our
Mhm.
frustration, because that's what we were taught to do as kids. And it's crazy how we really do carry that programming
We
from
do.
our childhood into our adulthood. And I don't think there is a
Mhm.
single adult. Now, I won't say a single. I'm sure a lot of people came from functional families with well-rounded parents, but a lot of us, come out of these dysfunctional households. And then, you know, a lot of us have to go to therapy. A lot of us have to like really heal from our
Mhm.
childhood. We have to heal from our parents' parenting styles. And it doesn't necessarily make them
See that
bad
they
parents.
right. They just did what they knew. That's all
Yeah,
they knew, right? Exactly.
that's how they was taught. That's how they
Mhm.
was raised. They just,
Yep.
a lot of them were winging it. A lot of our
Mhm.
parents had us really young. They wasn't ready for us. You know, thank God we come from like that era where our parents still had a network, a community, a village of people. So even if they wasn't being the best parents, we had big mamas, and you know, we had the aunties,
Mhm.
and we had people, no matter what, who's gonna make sure that you were good. I
Right.
feel like that is becoming a lost art with this current generation,
Mhm.
because it seemed like a lot of the adult women don't even want to act like they're adult women. They want to act like they're teenage daughters.
Yep.
They want to be their friends. They want to be on socials popping off. They want to
Mhm.
go be in auditions of baddies, and they want,
Yeah.
it's weird.
We
uh
we've lost our way along the way. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have as a people.
I think
We have.
social media has a huge part to do with that, because
Mhm.
we're raising these younger kids. Number one, are being more raised by their tablets, by their cell phones, by their
To
TVs.
keep them quiet, to get out my face, to go
Yeah.
sit down. Yes.
And
Yes.
most adults are also distracted by the same things.
And if you think about it, the more that we're technologically advanced, the more you having a lot of children who are born who can't really talk.
Mm. No.
They can't, yeah, they can't talk. They have all these different learning disabilities, and you see a lot of these kids getting on EAPs and all this stuff in school because they socially disadvantaged.
Yeah, they're
They just
social.
have these tablets and these phones, and they know how to work them though. They know how to work them, but to have a form of conversation, to form a sentence, structured sentence, not happening.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like something, there has to be some, you know, with
Mm-hmm.
the times, with the changing of time, you know, the evolution of time. Now we have more technology. I think
Right.
that certain things need to be put in place to kind of, because I think it's necessary at this point to create some balance when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to the overuse of technology. Like there
Right.
has to be some embedded time somewhere structured, whether it's an individual household. I won't say on a governmental level. I don't believe the government should have
Right.
authority
It
to
starts in
create.
house. It starts in house.
It starts in house, but there's got to
Mhm.
be some sort of time allocated,
Right.
allocated or designated to connection
Mm-hmm.
without the use of phones, without the use of TV. With that, like there has to be some sort of connection time, and not
Right.
for 30 minutes to an hour. I'm talking about a block of time, whether it's just one day or 2 days out of the week, where it's like today is no technology day. This is
Mm-hmm.
our family day, you know, like y'all can make a
Right.
plan to go and do something. The phone stay in a box the entire day,
Right.
period. You can get your phone at midnight, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like something, because we're just more disconnected. There's people who will be in the same household as their family texting them instead of
Yep.
just getting up and just going in the room and speaking with them eye to eye. A lot of kids don't know how to communicate their needs to
And
their
I
parents.
was gonna say, I was gonna not only that, but then when you start finding these young adults, or these kids graduating high school and coming into the real world, they don't know how to have a professional type conversation with people. They don't know how to go through a job interview and speak. You know what I'm saying, on a professional type level. They don't know how to do all of this stuff. If
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you would think it wouldn't be that way, since this is like the podcast era. Since this
Yeah.
is the time of the voice, in my
Yeah.
opinion, where anybody can create a platform for themselves.
Yeah.
It's interesting how socially awkward people are becoming more and more because of the use of technology. I do
Hmm.
believe that it does need to start in the home. And I do think that if parents notice in their children like an awkwardness, a social awkwardness, they have
Mm-hmm.
to go out of their way to do something about it, because it's not going to get any better, because now
Right.
technology is advancing by the minute. Now we have AI interjecting.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't only affecting children, this is also affecting adults. This is affecting
Yes.
adults' ability to even string along a sentence of their own. A lot of
Yes.
people are going to Chat GPT,
Straight to
you know,
it.
refine their sentences and their
Mhm.
words and their thoughts. Like people are delegating the simplest of things. Like,
Right.
again, this is no different from starting a weight loss journey. The growth is in the process. So if you know that you're an entrepreneur, if you want to be a copywriter or this or that, how are you a copywriter, or how are you supposed to convey your messages when you don't even have your own voice? You don't
Right.
have brand voice, because your voice is, you are the brand. But when
Yep.
you're delegating it to Chat GPT, now you're losing your own uniqueness. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
losing why people will pick
Will
you.
gravitate towards you. Right. 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 Right.
Now everybody's sounding the same. You could tell
Mm-hmm.
a chat. I could tell a
I can
Chat
tell. Yeah,
GPT
I can tell.
paragraph from anything. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind using Chat GPT
Yeah,
for
but
things.
restructure it though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Change out some words and do some stuff like yeah. I'm with you.
depends on what it's being used for.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my own uniqueness and my own writing style and things of that sort, like, I need that to be me, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a part of the process of me becoming and refining my skill as something I have a natural talent for.
Right.
But it is interesting how the convenience culture in general is taking away a lot of our common sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we need a GPS to get everywhere. Like, now we don't know how to imagine
It's
when the
it's
grid is
taking your
down.
ability to think away.
Yeah, if the grid is down, you don't even know how to read a map.
Yeah.
You ain't even thinking about having a manual map.
Mm-hmm.
Every car should have a map in it, because you don't know
Right.
what can happen. But
Yep.
even if there was a map in it, people
Would you
don't
know
know
how
how
to
to
read
read
it?
a map.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
even going on trails, people like, make sure you have the All Trails app.
All
Make
trails
sure,
out. Yeah.
make sure that it's like,
Yeah.
bruh, like, at some point we have to learn how to trust ourselves. We
Yes,
have,
and pay attention to your surroundings. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Before we had phones, before we had GPSs and all this stuff, you learned how to get somewhere about basic getting out there driving, watching landmine, you know what I'm saying? Like marks, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I know I gotta turn a right up here at this way, and there's a food line down here at the street, then I'll make that left down here. You watch different, you know what I'm saying, different buildings and structures to show you where you was at. Now
Mm,
we depended on GPS. We depended on it. Yeah.
yep, it's true. So, I mean, I think technology is great, because if we leverage it right, it helps us save our time, and it
Hmm.
helps us free ourselves up to
It's
use
good.
our talents.
Yeah. We
You
need
know,
we need it. Yeah.
yeah, but we don't want to become um we don't
Dependent.
want to yeah, we don't want to become dependent on it. We don't want to become vulnerable because
Hmm.
of it. We don't want to become weak because of it, because the less of your mind that you're using, the less of your mind that's being used. And
Right.
I'll reference this book one more time, but he talks about how your brain creates neural networks on the experiences that you have. So when you have a habit and you're doing the same thing every day, like, say if you drive the same exact route home from work every single day, and you go to the grocery stores at the same days and the same times each week, and
Hmm.
you go to work on the same schedule each day, and you start preparing your meal at a certain time, you get up every day to take the kids to school, you do this, everything that you do, your brain has actually created, like,
Created it.
the brain signals, the electric signals in your brain has
Hmm.
created a neural network, a neural path, like a
Yep.
path. And
Absolutely.
so it's the same thing, the same areas of light being shined on that side of the head with every single time that you repeat that action. So it's literally
Hmm.
like a little, like a roadmap, so to speak, of the same exact habit that's repeated daily. So the I say that to say that everything that we do, we're creating neural pathways in our
Hmm.
head.
Absolutely.
When we're not using our brains and creating neural pathways by learning new things, and using our minds, like forcing ourselves to be uncomfortable to start
Hmm.
creating those new, our brains will shut down. Like, you're only going to be using certain parts of your brain, and like,
Right.
that's not good, so we have to just start being more manual
Mm-hmm.
rather than automatic.
And
And
automatic. Yes,
otherwise we're going to
exactly.
continue to devolve and not be forever evolving.
Exactly, exactly. But to your point, like when you saying driving the same route, how you ever? I know I have personally been in the car. And I'm used to driving a certain way, going to the certain place, and then I end up pulling off going. So like, dang, that ain't where I was going, but I was so used to going that
Hmm.
route that I automatically just went that way without even thinking that I was
Yes,
going
I
that
do
way.
that a lot actually.
Yeah, I do that.
I do that often. I'm like, why did I go this way? Like,
Yeah,
because yeah, I'm used to going this way, but I'm going somewhere
where
else.
else?
Like now I got,
Exactly.
but
Yeah,
yeah, I've done that. That's true. We automatic. We
we
are literally
automatic.
programmed. We are
Hmm.
programmed. So I think just the knowledge of that though is kind of dope because like now you can start working on new programs and you can start
Hmm.
being more intentional about becoming exactly who you want to be. Like
Right.
nothing is impossible. We just have to be willing to be intentional about it. Somebody said we are losing our primal instincts. Fact.
Yes. Survival, primal instincts, and that is very important, especially in the time that we're in right now. Because you don't know what the government gonna do. You don't know what the state of the world's
Mhm.
gonna be like, and we don't even have basic survival skills anymore.
Facts. And we need them. That's why, like,
Hmm.
I have my license to carry. I want to start getting more into doing like survival trainings,
Hmm.
like because there's people who run like in the like they go they have in the woods. They'll do like weekend long survival trainings where you're just like literally sleeping outside in a tent. You're being taught these different things, and it's
Right.
just like, we do have to learn how to not only live on the grid, but we have to learn how to
Right.
live
The
off the
off
grid.
grid. Yes, definitely.
know, and not just to be a balanced, well-rounded, balanced human being, because like you just can never get too comfortable.
Right.
We are very privileged in America. However, America has a lot of karma against it. And there's a lot of places that
Hmm.
are not in peace because of America and its allies. So I do think it's important for Americans to not get too cozy and too comfortable because anything can change. This
Right.
land can become a war land, can become a battlefield before we know it. We don't know.
And this is why, to bring it all back to health, this is why you need to be taking care of your body to be in optimal shape for the unknown that what may come. You got to be eating right, you got to be working out, getting your body physically fit for war. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You got to be ready. And we got to come together as a people, as a culture.
community.
We
Yep.
got to come together and build that community, that tribe, so we can protect each other and help each other.
Hmm.
We got to.
We have to stop the gender wars because there's just
Yes.
too much of this, like women against men and men against women.
And we
And
need each other.
yeah, we do need each other.
We
You can't,
need each other.
it's just, and we need the children too,
Mm-hmm.
we need each other and everything makes sense and everything works together as a collective. We just have to definitely get our bodies back into balance and
Yes.
get it back into harmony. And as you said, we do need to be healthy in order to endure these things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess we'll end it there.
Yeah.
We're about an hour in. This is
Love
super
it.
dope conversation. I love
Loved
where
it.
it went
Yeah.
because we're forever evolving, but we also get to be thought leaders and we also
Mm-hmm.
get to evolve, using our throat chakras. We get to evolve the atmosphere. It starts with our mouth.
Yes.
As we say, we need to get together. We need each other, and we could start creating spaces where we're
Mm-hmm.
having survival training. Where we can hire somebody to come in and host a survival training
Yes. And
segment.
and that's why it's important that we got to have the men and the women working together, because the men gonna bring those basic survival structures. We need our men to protect us. We
Mm-hmm.
need that. And then we need the women to come in with the culinary skills and the arts and crafts and the gardening and you know what I'm
Herbalist
saying, the
and
herbalists and the nurturing and the you know what I'm saying, we need each other. We need
mm-hmm.
each other, y'all. We got to come together.
We shall. And we will end it there. Thank you so much, Renata. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. We have to do this again. This is a
Yeah.
fire conversation.
Yes.
And I do believe that there is a lot to be gained from having these talks.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you. We actually held a pretty decent amount of people the entire time.
Oh,
And
good.
so that means that it was as good as I felt like it was.
Yeah.
And as far as my next guest, I'll have somebody on, I believe the same day, next Tuesday, same time. So tap in for the next one, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you for tapping in on the Betterism podcast. And this is really all about just being better at being better.
That's good.
Ultimately.
I like that.
Peace.
Peace.